All right, this is Matt with the Pints and Pinball podcast. I'm going to be doing a takedown video of an old solid state game. This is a Williams 1981 Jungle Lord. Very similar to any solid state game you might find, basically pre-DMD era with the score displays. A couple of things you're going to need. Something to remove the leg bolts with, a dewalt cordless screwdriver with a 1/2-inch drive and a 5/8 inch socket. Alternatively, you can use the pin wrench. What I like about the pin wrench is that it's got 5/8 inch drive on one side for the leg bolts and the 9/16 inch drive on the other side for the back box bolts for these older games, 2 different sizes. It's taking, gosh, Stern just did this, I think, just a couple of years ago. They finally started using the same leg bolt, the same size for the leg bolts and the back box bolts. So what we're gonna do is, the other thing we're gonna need is something to protect the glass with. So that is gonna sit here. And then you need something to keep the back box secure to the cabinet. So you can use a truck strap. I prefer these. A lot of people would rather use shrink wrap. You can use shrink wrap if you want. Just wrap it 8 to 10 times around the back box and the cabinet. I actually, when we were moving, they had tons of this laying around and they gave me the rest. You can buy similar stuff at Home Depot and Lowe's. So the first thing we're gonna do with this game is remove the balls. You don't want to move a game with the balls in it because it'll come out of the trough and it'll break the plastics a lot of times. So the way that you do that, open the coin door. Hopefully you have the key. And underneath here is a lever that's going to release the lockdown bar. You're going to push that from the right to the left and then pull lockdown bar up. And the glass, you want to shut the coin door, which was going to require you to put that lever back into the lock position so you can close it. Otherwise, if it's open, it doesn't close. Put it back in the lock position. I pull these keys halfway out just so they don't open up on me. And you do that so that when you pull the glass out, you don't scratch the glass against the coin door. So pull the glass out. And then just lift the playfield up just gently by the apron. And this game is a multi-ball game. So what I'm looking for is this little lever right here. Right, this is the coil that releases the balls. All I do is flip that thing until the balls come out. 1, 2. There's only 2 games. 2 balls, sorry. 2 balls for this multi-ball game. And got the balls in the hand. Put them in my pocket for right now. Put the glass back in. This does have a little bagatelle game up top. That's okay to leave. It's pretty safe up there. Same thing. Get the lock bar back on. Unlock it. Get it securely flipped up on it. Just make sure it's good. And then lock it back up again. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, turn the game off. Unplug it. Lay our protection down. You want to lay this down so that when the back box lays down on the rails, that there's adequate padding. It's usually closer to the front, but you'll see it when you lay the back box down. Now if your game has a key or it's locked, sometimes it's found on the inside on a hook just on the inside of the left leg or sometimes on the coin door, but you would unlock this, which allows you to take the back glass off. This is already unlocked, so I'm just going to take the back glass off. Set it gently, carefully to the side somewhere. This is where you're going to need your 9/16 wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up using this little lock, little latch lock that's right here. And as you remove these back box bolts, the back box is going to start to lean forward. So you have to make sure you're counterbalancing it with one of your hands. I just get these loosened up so that I can finger loosen them. I haven't taken any cords off. I'm not going to be detaching any cords even with these older games. A lot of people take all of the connectors off and transport the head separately. If you have to, go ahead, but I prefer to move things this way. It makes it a lot faster to set up on the other side. Just removing these by hand. I see lots of people take the extra bolts and put them in a bag or something like that. Don't do that. Close this up. Keep a hand on the back box at all times because otherwise it might fall. Grab your back glass. Okay. The safest place to transport a back glass is in the game. I see lots of people wrapping them in blankets, doing it separately. Don't do that. Safest place transport your back glass is in the game. Now, we're going to gently lower the head down. Make sure to cover all the areas that it's going to lay. Slowly pivot it down. It's not hinged. Slowly pivot it down. Set it down on the glass and push it all the way back until it bumps up against this. Now, what do you do with these bolts you just took out? Put them right back here, in the holes that they came from. Take your power cord, just gently wrap it up. Nothing fancy. I try to keep it within sight, so I try not to forget it, although I usually do. All right, now we need to strap this down. Again, you could use a truck strap like I do, or you could use shrink wrap, or both. Depends on how much you love your cabinet. This one is not all that fancy. What I tend to do is lock it through the hole here. And if you want, you can grab a piece of cardboard, put it behind the locks and the latches, keep the cabinet extra safe, that's fine. Or don't do anything. Certainly I've done that too. It just depends on how much you care. Check this to make sure it's good and snug. Back glass is in. All right, we're good to go. The next thing we're gonna do, grab our stool and get it close to the back, and we're going to take the back legs off first. So the easiest way to do that is literally just muscle it up and put the stool under and grab your 5/8 wrench. Now this is a good time to have your cordless drill. It goes a little bit faster. Just loosen these up by hand. Relatively loose. The drill does most of the work. Getting them off. Now, when you have the bolts out, I just put them right back in the cabinet. Don't grab a bag and move it separately. You'll likely leave the bag behind wherever you are. Just gently put these back in. Can't tell you how many times I have moved the game. I'm so excited and left the bolts or the keys or the legs. We all do it. And if you buy new Stern games, you'll see they come with the bolts in the cabinet, just like this, in the box. All right, so the next thing we want to do is lift this up a little bit, pull the stool out, and gently set the game on the ground. Now, it is heavy. I do recommend you get a friend, but it is possible to do by yourself. I'll just slowly transition this to the floor, just like that. Now walk around to the front and pick the game up and set it on its back. Do the same thing with these front legs, just loosen them up. Same thing. Screw these back down so you don't lose them. Don't do them too tight. You don't want to damage the cabinet. You just don't want them to come out easily. The balls that you took out of the game should be with the game. What I like to do is open the coin door, put them in the coin box, put the lid on, and then it's good to go. Grab all your legs. You can choose to wrap them up with plastic. Wrap them nice and neatly like this. You can wrap them with plastic and set them here. And good to go.